Ladies and gentlemen, making the very first draft pick in his first year as general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, U.S. Bank Stadium. Can I get a witness and a raucous round of applause for our general manager, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. Joining us now from Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. Kwesi, it's Paul Allen. How are you?
PA, how's it going, man?
Pretty well. You look exhausted.
Oh, no, I'm energized, man. I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah, you could jump out. Like if the Timberwolves had a midnight practice to get ready for Game 6, you could get out there and go for 2 hours right now, couldn't you?
Am I getting water or am I playing?
You're getting water, and you're not going down to the block. You'll cross over at the three-point line. Lewis Cine, and here we go from 12 back to 32, and we get 34, so we're in action early tomorrow. That all is going to play itself out, you know, when they start playing games and stuff like that. But I just want to know, how was the evening for you? I mean, seriously, this is a momentous occasion for you and your family. It's monumental for the team and you. So bravo, man, for getting into that spot and going through your first round.
Yeah, it's surreal. I'll be honest. Beforehand, a bunch of my friend group got Vikings jerseys made with my Adofo-Mensah on the back, and so I was getting 100 texts with little, their kids and all that stuff, and that was a special moment. I got a great friend group, a great community that supports me. But other than that, I'll be honest. This wasn't about me. This is about this organization and us coming together. Like, this is the 2022 Vikings, and so I'm sitting in that chair, but this wasn't about my moment or anything like that. This is about our process, everything we put into this, and I'm excited for everybody in the room, and I think we got a great player, and I couldn't be more happy about it.
Hey, Kwesi, if you could you take us through that situation where the top half of the draft up until that point was really pretty much status quo. I don't think there were any big surprises. There was the trade right before we made the trade. So what went into the thought process as you saw the draft board sort of going the way you guys originally thought it was going to go?
Yeah, it's full of surprises at the top, right? So we had a scenario plan for everything. And then once certain things went a certain way early, we kind of knew our best option was the trade back. And so, again, we thought hard about it. Obviously, trading with the division rival isn't something you do lightly. But, again, I said it to the press earlier, and I'll say it again. We got to play against the Detroit Lions, and they got to play against the Minnesota Vikings and the team we're trying to build here. So that's ultimately what we decided to do. And we like the collection of players we'll be able to get. And ultimately, we'll see what happens. But we're confident about what we ended up doing.
Hi, Kwesi, Paul Charchian. Nice to talk to you again. Tell me about some of the special traits that you think Lewis Cine has got that are going to distinguish him on the field.
Yeah, he's incredibly, he's a fluid mover. He's got so much range. You talk about on the back end, people don't really, the term is called safety, and it's called safety for a reason. When there's a bad movie, there's an adult in the room, and he comes in and he gets us to 1st and 10, and he makes the team drive it down the field. The range he has to come in and from the deep half and stop run plays for short gains, and he's coming with bad intentions. Like most guys who move like that don't come with bad intentions. He's somebody who's incredible. He's so cerebral, lives in the building, communicates to the defense. Funny story. We both interned at Morgan Stanley. I kind of read that in his report, and I'm like,
wow.
You always talk about meant to be. Like, think about a general manager and a starter and a safety in the NFL, and they both were interned at Morgan Stanley. And I think that was pretty cool.
Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, general manager for the Vikings. Time for a couple more. Pete, you first.
Kwesi, one of the questions I had was with Georgia, and just the sheer number of players that they had. It was probably nice to turn on that film, but you just didn't know which guy to watch. Do you think that because of the number of players that Georgia had and they were expected to go in the first round, that Cine was maybe overlooked, ironically, with the last name like Cine, but maybe just overlooked a little bit because of the fact that he played around so many other great football players?
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know that he was overlooked per se. We got a great player in round one, and that's where great players go. But yeah, that defense, I wonder, you guys are history experts as well, what it'll look like compared to those Miami teams or some of those teams in the past. Their two deep is unreal. But he, like you said, he jumped off the film on a field full of great players. He was one of the greater ones. And so again, we're just excited about what we ended up with.
you talk about his position flexibility, the fact that he can be a deep safety guy. We understand he's got incredible straight line speed, and he can come down and run the alleys and hit you. But do you see sort of a 50-50 split with he and Harrison playing in the box? And how do you kind of see maybe, if you could, some sort of percentage on where he's going to play? Are we going to see him more as a deep center fielder, or just kind of rock and roll and see how it goes?
You know, when I first got into the league, Ed Donatel was like a mentor to me. I used to chart things for him. So he's taught me a lot. He hasn't taught me to speak for him. So I'll leave that to our defensive coordinator to talk about the exact specifics of it. But again, we like the diverse skill set they both have, and we're going to be creative about how we use it.
Well, have a great evening, and best of luck to you and your staff. Everybody's going to get some rest this evening. Come back, do it again tomorrow. You know, I'm sure you might be in there at 5:30 mashing on Georgia tape just to see if, like, what you can unearth under the next rock and find the NFL version of Manu Ginobili, one of your favorites, stuff like that. But anyway, thank you very much for the time. God bless you, my friend, and get some rest this evening, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.